continuing with the NBA playoffs, which team of series are you most looking forward to in the first round? Do you all feel differently about the Houston Rockets versus Lakers, Los Angeles Lakers series now that Kevin Durant is dealing with the injury? That was an interesting game from the Lakers. I really hope KD played, man. I want to see them go
he's warming up. They just showed him warming up just now, so I think I'm pretty sure he's playing. It was funny because they said he hurt his knee diving for a ball in practice. And it was like, KD ain't never dove for a basketball in a game with a lot of practice.
Ain't no way in the world. I ain't never seen a man diving no basketball, bro.
I'm like, I don't know how but yeah, this series, the Lakers and the Rockets, to me, is the one I'm looking forward to the most. And 1A would be the Knicks and the Hawks. But yeah, this Lakers Rockets series is a pick 'em for me, because we all know that I'm picking the Rockets, but we all know that the Lakers have been disappointing at times, and they're playing without a couple of their best players. So it's going to be real tough to beat this Rockets team consistently. That first game they got them, but KD is back tonight, so I'm really interested to see if the Rockets can bounce back and pull off an upsetting game too.
I'm clearly more invested in the Knicks Hawks series. I'm not even gonna cut the bullshit. Like, the Knicks choked Monday night. They weren't aggressive. They were in the bonus can for that fourth quarter for like half the quarter. Like, it was like 7 minutes left in the quarter, and they were in the bonus already. They were not aggressive like they were. Game 1, they came out exactly how they were supposed to. Brun got it out early. He was like, fuck the noise. We gonna start being aggressive. Game 2, I feel like they was, again, like maybe what Detroit was doing, reading their press clippings. Like, okay, they showed that they were a better team. Game 1, it's gonna be an easy series. And then I was telling my homeboy, bro, who also is a Hawks fan, CJ McCollum ain't no nigga that you could just really like say you ain't gonna have to worry about him. Now, for a series, for a series, hell nah. I'm not saying that he's that good, but CJ's gonna get you one game, and he got him that game. I think that game 3 now, because to me, at first I knew the Hawks were gonna win a game, of course, but I was hoping it would be game 3 at home and not game 2 on the road. Because now this makes game 3 a big game for the Knicks. It's a lot of pressure on the Knicks. They're gonna be in a hostile environment. Well, maybe not, because I forgot half of New York is in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's true.
Atlanta's not going to be hostile. It's going to
be the strippers ain't going to give them lap dances when they come into town, Lou. That's the hostile version of Atlanta. They ain't gonna get on.
Hey, depending on who it is, Nick. Depending on who it is.
You're right. But I'm very interested in game 3. I think that's a big need for the Knicks to win that game, and on Thursday. But the Houston Rockets and the LA Lakers, if KD didn't get hurt, I think Houston wins that game. So I think Houston wins tonight. They only need to win one game anyway. They're the road team. So,
and Nick, you're not in the ATL, so you're not tapped in. But guess who's performing at halftime for game 3?
Ludacris.
Soulja Boy, tell him.
Soulja Boy, tell him.
Soulja Boy really performing?
Yes. Yeah, he's serious.
Yeah, he the halftime show for the Knicks.
Soulja Boy, tell him.
For the Knicks Hawks. So take with that what you may.
Yeah, I fuck with Soulja Boy, but that's disrespectful.
Joe,
it's disrespectful to the Knicks. Come on, are you kidding me? Out of all the niggas in Atlanta, give me Gunna at least.
They call Soulja Boy for the Knicks. That's crazy. They ain't even get Walker on the phone. Damn. But the question was, what series are we least interested in?
Most.
The series that I'm most interested in, I would say Knicks Hawks too, because I'm invested in the Knicks doing well in the playoffs. I just feel like the playoffs are better when the Knicks are there. Like, playoffs in Madison Square Garden are like, it remind me of the 90s. It remind me of watching Jordan. It remind me like the chance of defense and all of those things. And I like Brunson. So I'm in the closet rooting for the Knicks as I try to hate on Nick at the same time and balance those two things. So that is the series that I'm most interested in. I don't really care about the Lakers and Thunder series because I don't think neither one of them can win the title. I don't think that LeBron can. I mean, he can win this series because Durant's hurt. We'll see tonight. Them two going at it dolo. Luka may be back, but even with that don't make me think they're going to move past the second round. So I'm not interested at all in a Rockets-Lakers series because I don't think either one of those teams could do damage. I would be shocked if they did. But the Cavs and Raptors is the worst series.
Yeah, thank you, Spike. That's exactly
nobody
where I
will see that shit.
I was going to go. That's why I said it wasn't on there. But least, somebody B Staples just actually posted this. Harden Mitchell really deadly watch for the Cavs. We're not watching. We're not.
You can give us updates.
I thought he meant deadly for each other because they was going at it yesterday. They kind of had
just put the updates in the group chat, B Staples. Like I didn't got several texts just now while we've been recording. It's like, oh man, the Cavs and bro, I don't care. I'd rather watch
I watched
Spurs.
Yeah, I watched the condensed version of that game, and it was close for a minute. Even the second game was relatively close for a while, but they just Toronto just folded down the stretch, and Cleveland just took over, and then that was that. So we'll see what they do, but it hasn't been interesting so far. But I know Philly tied the series tonight. But that one's not interesting to me at all. I think I'm with you guys. I don't think the Rockets Lakers series is all that interesting. Old as LeBron, and for them to win that, I mean, they pretty much control most of the game. I know it was like a 2-point game or whatever at halftime, and they kind of had enough of a padding on the second half here and there to not worry as much. And then Luke Kennard got hot. How often that's going to happen?
No,
right. So, and I think I think they said JJ Redick told him they wanted him to be aggressive with Luka out. It's like, all right, we've seen Luke Kennard in the playoffs before. He chokes every time, but he had a good game and they won that game, and we'll see what happens. But is Aiden going to keep doing what he's doing? Probably not. Rui Hachimura, he's a perfect role player that feeds off everybody. Maybe he's good for a game or two. We've seen him do that in the playoffs as well, feeding off LeBron. But can LeBron control this, this whole game in the way that he used to, go vintage in order to win a series? So that'll be condensed games for me. But definitely the Hawks, Knicks, and Nuggets and Wolves. Those are the two. Hawks, because I just love seeing them, y'all talking in the chat. The shit's fun to me, watching y'all go back and forth. Speaking on the Hawks game, though, that was a good game. It looked like the Hawks definitely were not ready for playoff experience. Knicks had a 14-point lead, but they showed a lot of fight, a lot of resolve to come back. And I'm with you, Nick. I think when we were evaluating the series, that was the one thing I was talking about, CJ McCollum. Like, he has playoff experience, and we've seen him get busy in the playoffs, and CJ thinks he's one of those guys. And, they even said a stat that he's like the highest scoring player to never make an all-star. So, and then he embraced the villain role. Like, he was talking shit to everybody else on the sideline.
He was.
And he was just, woo, he got Brunson so bad. Bro.
And CJ is the dude that you overlook because he's not athletic. He's like
Rip Hamilton.
He's like also like a poor man's Kyrie in every sense of the world. Like he can maneuver, he can score, but he's not a star, but he ain't shitty. Like, he's far from shitty. He's like, again, I don't think he gonna be doing anything like that moving forward in this series, because I think the Knicks learned their lesson, Ken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
But I will say that what the shit that he was proving, I was not shocked about what he was doing in that game. Because if you give him an inch, he gonna take a mile. And the Knicks just did not want to close out that game. That was all it was. They didn't get to the line. They was missing free throws. The game came down to OG Anunoby's 2 missed free throws and Mikal Bridges doing that goofy ass fadeaway shot when he should have drove down the lane and tried to draw a foul. You down? You hit 2 free throws, you win the game.
Yes.
Yeah. And I know Brunson hit 2 threes late, but he was in my in that fourth quarter. Cat was in my in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So and Cat had a good third quarter. So I think that's on Mike Brown too. Like, get the
Yeah,
man
he has to.
some touches.
Yeah. Well, he
You know what
also
I'm
has
saying?
to.
Like,
He also has to tell him to be aggressive, like continuously be aggressive. I think that's the thing. Mike Brown has a good scheme and all that shit, but he needs to get into these motherfuckers' asses and be like, "Listen, bro, quit fucking around with these niggas, because they gonna steal a game."
Yeah, and I think the other thing that to watch for, you were right, Nick. Kuminga was really helped out a lot in the fourth quarter, and then Jalen Johnson kind of got his confidence and helped down the stretch. But Brunson on defense, bro.
That was it.
You gotta watch. That's gonna be a problem, bro.
But they, and that's why game one was interesting, because they didn't. The Hawks didn't do that, and everybody and their mama on the media was like, "You got to go at Brunson on defense," and then they did a game two. So I'm like, so game three is like, there's no way you can there's no way you can take Brunson off the court, first of all, and second of all, there's no way you can hide him on the court. So it's just it's one of those things where that lineup
Mike
where they
Brown's
had,
supposed to figure that out though. He's a defensive coach. Why? Like Mike Brown's
but that's
supposed
what-
to have some.
Yeah.
That's what y'all brought him to New York for.
but that's it's something that you have to live with though, Lou. You can't solve it.
You really
I don't
can't.
think there's a scheme that you will be able to put together. Like, people have been hiding guards for a long time. They hid Luka. They had, like you talked about, Kyrie when he was.
They didn't hide Luka. They lost the
Steph.
series because they couldn't hide Luka, bro.
They also made it to the finals because they were able to hide him. They hid Steph for years.
And Steph
Like,
gave up a three.
You got to figure that out if you Mike Brown.
But Lou, Steph gave up a 3-1 lead when he got dot in his eye by Kyrie.
So the biggest thing to me was like we know that the biggest part to this was Brunson on defense. They attacked Brunson on defense. They even asked CJ about it. They asked CJ, was he get a tail on Brunson? He was like, "What you think?" He was like, "You saw it." Like, basically, CJ is super confident right now. And I love it.
As he should be.
And the other thing that they did that made it successful was they took the ball out of Brunson's hands. He would have the ball at the top of the key, and they would double him to make him get it out of his hands, and they wouldn't let him get it back. So that was really what shut the Knicks down. But like you said, they should have figured out ways to get the ball to Cat so he could at least try to do something. But he not only did he not score, he wasn't even touching the ball at all in the fourth quarter. So to me, that was a travesty. It was all Anunoby and Bridges, and you can't win like that. There's no way. And they just couldn't match. They dominated the Hawks in this game up until that point, and the Hawks just couldn't miss down the stretch. They was hitting some tough shots, and that was the real difference in this game. So the next game, you're going to have to figure out a way to get Brunson out and keep that trap from coming, that double team, and figure out a way to make some things happen on defense. Because you got to scheme your way out of it some kind of way. There's got to be a way. But
the thing is, like with Steph, Lou, or like how they use Steph or hide Steph, he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands to be, deadly. Like him moving around is deadly. Like Brunson has to, like, they always complain about him pounding the air out of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain things where he has to be a focal point. So like on defense, maybe they do that big lineup with Karl Towns and Mitchell Robinson more to kind of make up for it on the other end. But still,
And we haven't even and keep in mind they stole a game. Kuminga was good. Jalen Johnson struggled but got comfortable late. But we haven't even seen what's his name, Nickel Alexander or whatever.
Nikhil,
he's been playing well, and Snyder found a way to unlock him. So he should play way better at home in these next 2 home games. Yeah, and y'all might come back to New York down 3-1, bro.
Chill out.
Nick, how you gonna watch the game? Because I know you broke the TV.
Listen. If the Knicks lose this series, kid, I'm taking a break from there. I'm gonna hit a Jalen and go to Bali for a few days. I will catch y'all at the finals. I ain't coming back. That's on the table. I'm not saying it's not, but I highly doubt it.
The Knicks are better, Nick, but I just told you that they're going to be a tough matchup, bro. Just the bodies that Atlanta has and the way that they play. It's like the counter opposite of what New York wants to do. Like their guards are bigger. All the guards are bigger than Jalen Brunson, including CJ McCollum. right? Like, and then they have the matchup for everybody. Even Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is a big defensively that wants to be closer to the basket. They got a Kongu that hits threes.
But Mitch is athletic, so he can go out there if he needs to do. He had a big impact on this game. They had a good run because
I'm not saying that, Nick. See, Nick, put the analytic cap on, not the New York Knickerbocker cap on. Because all I'm saying, because you're 100% right. Mitchell Robinson had a major impact in that game, and we know that when Mitchell Robinson is right, he's one of the better defensive bigs in the league. So no discredit or anything to him there. But what I'm saying, Nick, is that when you are a 3-point shooter, and I'm not going to call a Kongu knocked down, but a Kongu shoots in the middle 30s. That means you have to respect it. And he's not used to always closing out. So Kongu was able to exploit him in the first 2 games. That's going to be a matchup.
All I know is game 3 is going to be one of the biggest games of the series already.
Now at McDonald's, a McDouble is only $2.50. So you can get your gym gains on or just get lunch for only $2.50. Get more value on the under $3 menu.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Working on building a dream space, but don't know where to start? At the Home Depot, we can help you bring your dream project to life. Whether you're building a backyard oasis, a podcast studio, or a wellness space, we've got everything you need in store and online. With project guides and free delivery options, it's easy to go from dreaming to doing. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
I do want to touch on Minnesota, Denver.
Real quick before you go, I feel like this is a Mike Brown series. This is what you brought him in for. All of that stuff that y'all are talking about. Yeah, Atlanta may have great matchups. Yeah, I understand that there are some bad matchups in the series that you're going to have to figure out. But top to bottom, the Knicks got the better roster. And the reason that Tom Thibodeau is not there anymore, or Tim Thibodeau, whatever his name is, the reason that he's not there anymore is because Mike Brown was supposed to be a better coach. And if Mike Brown goes into this series against the Hawks, who are a very talented team and do match up well against you, if he can't figure it out, you on the first thing smoking out of town, bro.
So wait, hold on. Before anybody says something, Spike, question to you. Is Mike Brown's job safe?
No. God, no.
Of course
one
not.
and done?
It's got to be safe.
If he loses to the Hawks, yes.
No.
If they get knocked,
I wouldn't even let him address the team. If they lost this series, you ain't doing exit interviews or nothing, bro. You out. Like, don't even come back. Like, if you lose this in 5, 6, if it's a close game 7, I don't care what the situation is. If you lose this series or the next series, to be honest with you now, I'm more with Nick on that because I brought you in. I made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. And especially with this series, I'm saying that because what y'all are explaining to me is watching a lot of basketball and me tuning in now for the playoffs is this is a matchup problem. That's a coach thing. That ain't a player thing. If I'm the owner, I feel like I got the better roster. I put the better players out there. You just couldn't figure it out as a coach. And that's what I brought you in for. You ain't even got to address the team. You ain't got to do exit interviews. Whatever I got to pay you to leave, bye. And you ain't coming back if you don't win this round or the next round. And maybe even the Eastern Conference Finals.
So 2 things. Number 1, remember when the Golden State Warriors, not the Steph Curry led ones, but the Baron Davis, Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, that Golden State Warriors took down the Dallas Mavericks, right? And Dallas was the number 1 seed. I want to say they won 60 games, if not real close to 60 games. Mm-hmm. So they were a dominant number 1, and they lost to the number 8 seed. I say all that to say that if New York is already a questionable franchise historically in terms of stability and truly competing for championships, like this window now has been the best window that they had since Patrick Ewing and them boys. And no disrespect to Carmelo, they were a playoff team, but they weren't true contenders, right? That being said, if you do Thibodeau the way you did Thibodeau, and then you won and done Mike Brown, who is going to want to go there? You might as well put Brunson. Brunson's daddy might as well be the head coach at that point. Because bro, like that is
but let's keep it a being FIFO. And this is why I'm interested in seeing how the Blazers owner deals with coaching moving forward now that they got new ownership. Because we've seen Hall of Fame coaches get fired for doing shitty jobs, i.e. Doc Rivers. We've seen Steve Kerr at best over the last 3-4 seasons makes the play-in or gets knocked out the second round of the playoffs. Like, we're seeing coaches. I think the value of coaching in basketball on an NBA level, we're gonna really have to reevaluate that, because look at San Antonio's head coach. He probably getting paid, Sheldon, what, maybe $1 million if that, and he young,
Yes,
and we didn't know. And granted, he may have come through. Yeah, granted, he may have come through a system that is like, okay, he has this pedigree and this pedigree, but he's still a young guy that just needed an opportunity. And it's the New York Knicks, bro. People gonna be like, shit, nigga, sign me up. Because if I win, I'm a king. Now, if I lose, obviously I'm fired. But if I win, I'm a king. And a lot of people, if you're a head coach, you want to get that limelight and spotlight to showcase your skills and put your name out there. So I think there will be a coach. I just think that the sense of urgency, I'm not mad at. Because, yeah, it sounds crazy to say, like, get rid of a coach after you just got rid of another coach for not doing something that only one coach is going to win the title. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you really... It's a easy thing to grade when it comes to having a fair value on that, but that's expectations. Like you, like Lou was saying, like we have one of the best rosters in the East, top to bottom, if not the best roster in my opinion. The only thing missing is a good coach to get this over the hump. And if we've seen that Tibbs can do that, why wouldn't Tibbs can do that, but he isn't even utilizing the whole team. We seen Mike Brown not only have a better record than Tibbs, but they playing better statistically, at least. If they lose in the first round, though.
To Nick's point, and to answer your question, FIFO, I feel like that's a part of the pitch if I fire Mike Brown. Because I don't think that Mike Brown is highly regarded as some great coach. So if I'm talking to the next coach that's coming in there, it's like, yeah, these are like Mike Tomlin said, this is the standard. Like, we've made it here. You seen I'm going to fire him if he can't make it here. I want you to come in and be on the type of time that you need to win a championship. That's what we're ready for in New York. I feel like they have the roster to be able to say that to a head coach. And if a head coach thinks he's good enough to take that job, then you take it with the risk of knowing I may fire you in the next couple of years if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. True, I do agree with you, FIFO. That can only last for so long. You can't do that every time. But I do think they have a window right now with Mike Brown to be able, if he don't be successful, fire him. And to the next coach, say, hey, the expectations are at the roof right now, bro. If you ain't coming in trying to win it, I don't even want you to take this job because you're not going to be here in 2 years.
And on top of that,
Knicks can do it. They spent the money. They got the roster to do that.
And FIFA, I know you got something to say, but like, if they do get knocked out first round, second round, they're still in the not Wembanyama, but the Giannis trade talks. They can revamp this team to be like, okay, if they get Giannis, then now again it's another year of boom or bust, because now we got Brunson, we got Giannis, we in New York, we ready to win right now. So I think this 2 to 3 year window is the championship window, though. Like Lou said, it's not going to be fire every coach until we win a championship. It's within this 2 to 3 year season.
He's going to get at least 2 years. There's no way you fire Mike Brown after 1 year.
Man,
if he don't win this series, there's no way he gets another year.
Why would you? Why would you?
Why would you do that?
You brought him in for a reason. So
not to lose in the first round.
It depends on how it looks too. It just really depends on how it looks.
It don't.
Well, no, but you know how it looks though, Shelton. If he loses and he keeps his job, and you fire Thibodeau for getting to the Eastern Conference, that looks very inept at the very top. That's number one. Number two, it's this, because I wanted to address what Nick said in terms of Steve Kerr, right? And I said I'm open to have that conversation, especially from a player development standpoint, because we see that Golden State has pretty much lost, their marbles. But in the last 5 seasons, Steve Kerr has won a championship, right? And you said we need to reevaluate coaching. Is as much as I will downgrade Steve Kerr, right? Like, he's still one of the better coaches in the league, and maybe it's just time for a change, on his end as well. But then you want to mention Spoelstra. In that same time frame, Spoelstra has made 2 NBA finals. And I think that this is the similarity between both Spoelstra and Steve Kerr. is that one had a dynasty and then pieces started withering away to the point where you are literally left with Draymond Green and Steph Curry from the championship court. Nobody else from that Golden State run is still on that roster, right? So you have a diminished version of what they once were. And then with Spoelstra, you have the master overachiever. But at the end of the day, both of those guys are very integral to what they do. And I guarantee you, Shelton, that if either one of those guys was available next season, if Mike Brown loses in this first round or even in the second round, you would have to consider either one of those coaches because it is an upgrade over Thibodeau and it is an upgrade over Mike Brown. But at the end of the day, unless you get a coach that has won multiple championships or a championship as a head coach, not as the assistant guy, Mike Brown, Thibodeau, we're talking as the guy. That's the only way that I can justify them moving on from Mike Brown. But it looks bad if they keep him.
Now at McDonald's, a McDouble is only $2.50. So you can get your gym gains on or just get lunch for only $2.50. Get more value on the under $3 menu.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Working on building a dream space, but don't know where to start? At the Home Depot, we can help you bring your dream project to life. Whether you're building a backyard oasis, a podcast studio, or a wellness space, we've got everything you need in store and online. With project guides and free delivery options, it's easy to go from dreaming to doing. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
And it looks bad if he loses in the first round.
Wolves, Nuggets, Knicks. What you have to say about that?
I keep on trying to tell Sheldon. I'll be like, listen, bro, Ant is here for a reason, bro. He's the prince that was promised. He's the prince that was promised. All right. and I also Sheldon, we always be wondering, like, why does Ant always be hyping up McDaniels? He always, like, when he be like, who's some of your favorite players? Anybody? And I always say McDaniels. He building confidence in that nigga to talk.
And he showed it.
And he showed it. He showed it. He put the hoodie up too, talking about some nigga. He said the reporter asked who's shitty on their team. They shitty. Like, hey, it's going, but it has to go 7 for them to win, in my opinion. Because Joker, even though Joker had a Joker game still, I still feel like they gonna have enough fight. But Jamal Murray is inconsistent, and I think that's something that people have overlooked throughout his whole career, is that he can be inconsistent as hell in the playoffs, i.e. game 2.
He had a rough. He had a Jalen Brunson fourth quarter. Is all he had. That's what I would say.
So you say inconsistent?
Yeah. That fourth quarter, he was definitely inconsistent for sure. They needed him to step up big, and he did.
Call
3 quarters.
Calling the whole team bad defenders is crazy.
I love it. You see the Ant influence, though. I love it. I love the Ant rubbing off on his
Jokic,
players.
Jamal Murray. Then he started naming. He named names.
That's what make it rough right there.
He said Aaron Gordon. He said,
let me remind
you.
Because
now y'all got to come out next game and y'all got to do something.
Yeah.
But remember the last time Ant did this? What Kyrie do to that boy? Couldn't do nothing with that boy.
That's Kyrie.
That's Kyrie, though.
Yeah,
that's Kyrie on their team.
Wait, I understand that. I understand that. We understand that Kyrie is arguably one of the best one-on-one players that we've ever seen in the NBA. However, you want to talk about Jamal Murray, Nick? Only Jimmy Butler and Jamal Murray in the playoffs have all-star level numbers when they are very pedestrian in the regular season. Mm-hmm. Those two guys, in the playoffs, don't tell me you can have a bad shooting night. Even superstars do. But at the end of the day, when we've seen Jamal Murray healthy, he's been one of those guys. So Ant is talking, and I love that energy. And this is the reason why I said I would like LaMelo Ball there. We didn't got to open up that can of worms, but everything you said is the reason why I like him there. But in terms of calling people out, former champions that they know how to get
Look,
to that
though.
next level.
But they beat them. But they beat
them. I
them.
respect it though, FIFO, because he know that. He know what they resume read like, and he not scared. He like, yeah, y'all be like, I know what playoff Jamal is like and all this stuff y'all talking about, but I'm telling you right now in this moment, I ain't scared of none of that. I love how he came out and was saying that.
1,000,000%. Look, man, that's what makes Ant great, though. That's what makes Ant great is that he don't shy away and he gonna talk and he back it up. All I'm saying though is that we're talking about how many times Joker MVP? Just one time? Yeah, he
3.
got snubbed. Nah, 3-time MVP.
Yeah,
3 times.
I thought
like. No, he got like I think he got 3.
He ain't got 3. He got 3. But regardless, we're talking about an MVP and we're talking about one of the best.
Joker, best player in the world.
So,
but my thing is though, like FIFO, to your point about Jamal Murray, in your description of trying to hype up Jamal Murray, you pointed out two of his inconsistency. He ain't consistent in the regular season as he is in the playoffs, or vice versa. And health wise, he's inconsistent as far as being available. So my thing is, when it comes, I'm just saying, but when it comes to Jamal Murray, you would think that again, for the whole point of seeding in the playoffs is that you want to be the home team because you start off at your crib and you should be able to go up 2-0. The ideal is we go up 2-0 before we go on the road and we just got to split one. Now that you have split on Minnesota done their job. As the road team, your job is we only need to get one of these two before we go back home. Minnesota has already proven that they can knock out Denver after their championship run, and they play them close. Like, regardless of matchups or whatever, they played them close. Game 1 was more close than what people thought. Minnesota just couldn't hit shit in that second half, especially that fourth quarter.
I think you got to change the word consistency, Nick, only because, look, Jamal Murray in the regular season averages about 16 to 17 points a game, and in the playoffs, he averages 24, 25. Consistency isn't the word that you want to use to describe whatever it is you're trying to describe when it comes to Jamal Murray.
Turn your mic up, people. It's coming in it's low.
Yeah, this game at first half wasn't as close as it was in the end. Denver had a chance to run away with this thing, so they let up off the gas, if you ask me, because they were running away with this game early. I was ready to turn the game off in that first quarter.
I did, Shelton.
You turned it off, and I didn't blame you, kid, because
44-28.
Yeah, halfway through the second quarter, it was the game was over. But Minnesota went on a heater, and then DiVincenzo was the difference, if you ask me. He hit a bunch of big shots. Boy, he hit a bunch of big shots down the stretch. And those shots were just too much to come back from. But I don't think they're going to sneak up on Joker too much. That's the kind of thing that Joker likes, is this little mess up thing. And I look at it like he probably blames himself for that loss. That ain't what you really want to do. You don't want to wake up a sleeping giant. Now, these two teams are familiar with each other. They played each other like, 70-something times in the last 3 seasons? Something crazy. Not that 3 seasons, but they played a lot of times lately. And they're real familiar with each other. So I'm not surprised at them getting the game out of this. But I still think Denver is the team to beat in this series, and they should move on rather easily. Well, not easily, but you know what I mean. They should win 4-1, 4-2, but they should be some tight games down the stretch.
But they do look flawed. And look, shout out to Joker for that dunk on Gobert, I think, in the fourth quarter. Who saw that coming? Yeah. But I will say that, Joker is putting up his numbers, but he has not been clutch. He missed a lot of shots he normally makes.
Yep.
And he struggled in game 1, and he struggled late in this game in game 2. He did not show up when his team needed him the most. And he's an MVP. And we talked about like what Curry did when his team needed him in that one game that he got. You know, we look at Jamal Murray at moments when he showed up big. But yeah, and speaking of fourth quarter mishaps, like I'm starting to kind of look at Ant. There have been some moments in some fourth quarters Ant has kind of screwed up in previous postseasons, and in this one he had a travel of all things.
You saw that he had a couple of them in this game.
They could have lost that game. You know.
Hey Shelton, talk about DiVincenzo. He's actually one of the best plus minus players this season with a plus minus of plus 359 and a plus 9.9 on off rating, meaning that when he's on the floor, they're plus 9.9. And we're talking
crazy.
like he's not even the best player on the court, but the impact that DiVincenzo has, to me, that shows what Ant needs in terms of like a running mate, because DiVincenzo is a low version of what would make this a championship team, because you could win with Julius Randle. Like he just can be your second best player. And that's what DiVincenzo's plus minus shows you. If you had a better LaMelo Ball, if you had a better version of that, this is a true championship contender, but they don't have that. But DiVincenzo's that guy. Though.
And what Ant was doing was impactful all the way around, because he was getting to the basket with ease, and he was finding that open man, because when the defense collapses, you got DiVincenzo open on one side. Now what McDaniel was doing was crazy, because McDaniel wasn't even open on some of those shots. Some of those moves he was making, I'm like, man, did he work with Hakeem over the summer or something?
Yeah, he was.
Some of them,
he was in his bag. He
like
was
Shaq
in
was
his
saying,
bag.
he had some feet work on a couple of them plays. I was like, man, who was that?
Now at McDonald's, a McDouble is only $2.50. So you can get your gym gains on or just get lunch for only $2.50. Get more value on the under $3 menu.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Working on building a dream space, but don't know where to start? At the Home Depot, we can help you bring your dream project to life. Whether you're building a backyard oasis, a podcast studio, or a wellness space, we've got everything you need in store and online. With project guides and free delivery options, it's easy to go from dreaming to doing. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
But FIFO, I want to ask you a real quick question before we move on. Lou said that he would not be nervous for Detroit if they lost game 2. Do you agree with that?
I'd be a little nervous. Not nervous that they can't come back.
Is it? It ain't a must-win game. It's not a must-win game, is it?
Game 2 he's talking about.
I know what he's talking about. It's like I prefer you win game. I wouldn't call it must.
It's not a must-win game.
How is that not a must-win?
Because
they
we're talking
better
about
than
the best
Orlando.
team.
Yeah, they can go to Orlando and win 2 games, and then you come back to Detroit tied 2-2.
They can't win at home.
No, 1,000,000%.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't won at home since Louis was in Tennessee the last time.
They're the number 1 seed for a reason. They're the number 1 seed
those
for a
teams
reason.
ain't got shit to do with this team, though. Like, yeah, it's been a streak or whatever it may be, but if you the coach and you going in and you talking to them in the locker room, or if you cage, like that losing streak ain't got shit to do with us. We just lost 2 games at home through the opening series. We're still the best team in this series. Those old ass teams ain't got shit to do with us. We can go out here and we can win game 5. Game 5 is going to be the must-win game if they lose this game.
Game 3 is must-win regardless if they win or lose.
First of all, Spike, you're wrong.
Especially
First of all, Spike, you're wrong. This team lost last year. They did not win a game at home last year.
They were underdogs. They were underdogs.
It doesn't matter. You said the old teams don't matter. What I'm saying is
they don't.
Right. But this team was the same team last year, and they still can win a game at home. The shit applies. They went on the road. All the games they won were in New York. And we were like, if they just win a game at home, and they never could break the streak.
Orlando is nothing to be scared of. If a team tells me in a press conference that a press release that they already decided to fire their coach regardless of how good he does in the playoffs, I'm not scared of that team. We can go down 0-2. We might go down to 0-3.
The only reason to be scared though, Lou, is you think of the confidence a team gains winning 2 games. A team like Orlando winning 2 games on the road. That's something you don't want to see. This is an NBA team with talent up and down the roster. You don't want them getting no confidence. You got to take their heart. You can't even let them think they're in this series. So you got to beat them this next game, and you got to not only beat them, you got to beat them handily. If you ask me, I don't even. If they have a close game, Orlando still wins, in my opinion. That lets them feel like they're in this series. You don't want them feeling like that.
So Spike, this is the reason why I'm gonna back you up, right? There's a Phil Jackson rule. I don't know if y'all know what that Phil Jackson rule is. A team that wins 40 games before losing 20 games are true championship contenders. And there's only a handful of teams that did that this season, and the Detroit Pistons are one of them. Their best player went down and he's coming back from a collapsed lung. He played a significant. I thought he played relatively well compared to what he's dealing with. And we know that by the end of this series, Cade is going to be closer to what he was than what he started this series. That's just body fact. That's just body fact. Anybody that has gone through that. By the end of the series, he'll be better than he was at the beginning of the series. Also, at the end of the season when Cade was out, the others stepped up. I'm not worried about them. So that gives credence to them. Shelton, I do agree here with Orlando. Can't take them lightly. Why? Because they're physical. When we did our top 5 by position, I was the only one to have Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner is arguably the best two-way 3-man in the league right now. Them boys physical. Banchero is a big boy with a lot of skill. He physical. Anthony Black, shout out to the DFW. He graduated out of one of these high schools from here. Big guard. They are a big team that likes to play physical, and they smacked Charlotte in the mouth to get here, and that's all that they did to Detroit. I'm not worried about Detroit, Ken, because this season has nothing to do with last season. Spike is 100% right. Of last season, they were trying to hunt versus them being hunted now. And I think that they transitioned well to being the hunted. Their best players just getting back. I'm not worried about them. Game 2 is not a true must win. I prefer they win. But they have shown this season that they have what it takes to beat an Orlando team.
But FIFA,
we're not talking the New York
FIFA.
Knicks. We're not talking about the Atlanta Hawks. We're talking or Boston or Philly. We're talking Orlando.
Look, go ahead, Shelton.
No, real quick, I was just gonna say, they split this season, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I think it was
So
2-2.
don't matter. This is
Yeah, I
the
think it was 2-2.
playoffs.
And yeah,
This is
Kate
basketball.
Cunningham may be back to top shape by the time the series is ending. The problem may be he may be going home when it's over, and it may not matter. So you better start winning some games at home.
Are you willing to put money on it?
I'm concerned about their losing streak at home.
Are you willing to put money that Orlando is going to beat Detroit? Yes or no?
I don't know why you're asking me about betting, bro. I'm
No,
not betting,
look,
man.
Ken, I don't put money up either. I'm just hypothetically speaking. Are you willing to put money where your mouth is? Because you're talking about casting doubt. I have no doubt. I put all the bread up on Detroit's behalf. I will
say this, FIFO and Lou, because FIFO, you said that Cade is getting back into form, and he's this is the worst version we're going to see him in this playoffs right now. Sheldon, what can you do better than 39, 5, and 4?
That's a lot right there. That's a lot. I was thinking the same thing.
I think that goes kind of to me and FIFO's point, though. Like he gonna keep showing up and doing that. I don't know who on the other team is going to be able to do that on the night. Like Cade is coming to do that every game.
But two things,
y'all got to deal with that.
And they lost by double digits.
Two things, though, real quick.
Even if we drop 2 games at home, I'm still coming to your place and I'm putting up that 39, 5, and 4 again. Orlando can't deal with that.
But here's 2 things to that for you, Lou and FIFO. Lou, to answer that question, he put up 39, 5, and 4, and they lost.
Double digits.
He can do that. He score 42, and they still gonna lose.
I mean,
if the others don't step up.
It's 7-game series,
right? So we're not talking. What I'm talking about, we're not. The
better team is going to win.
We're not doubting the better player. We're doubting the rest of his team showing up. Those are the guys that's going to have to step up. Right now, Orlando is proving to be the better team. I'm just saying right now in the series so far. If FIFO that same bet, would you make if they were down 0-2? Would you put your money up then? That's the question. Because the question is not now. The doubt is not now. The doubt is if it's 0-2.
You want to bet a bottle?
Listen,
no, I'm not making a bet.
If Orlando
borrow,
I'm just saying how sure. Yeah.
If Orlando go up 2-0, Lou, we bet a bottle.
right. That's when it gets tough. You know what I'm saying? The question was not when they win the series. The question was if they go down 0-2. Is that detrimental? That's the real question.
So if they go down 0-2, I'd split my bet. If I'm putting 100, I'm gonna put 50 on Orlando. That's what I'm gonna do at that point.
I'm definitely going
ahead. But at the end of the day, that's why I said this is. I believe that the Pistons can come back down 0-2. I believe that.
Mhm.
They go down 0-3, it's a wrap because now you have to win 4 straight. There is no wiggle room. Down 0-2 ain't the end of the world. That's why I said the must-win game is game 3. Regardless of what happens, you win or you lose, you gotta win game 3 to take either some momentum or momentum all the way on your side.
But the statistics, your numbers, man, FIFO, you go down 0-2, it's like 82-85%. You're gonna lose that series.
I know. But here's the thing, right? Like at the end of the day, I'm always gonna bet on the best player and the better team. And even though, Shelton, I do agree Orlando is playing better today or yesterday in the days that they've played. I don't disagree that they've played better. It's because they had to be in the crock pot just a little bit longer. Detroit, yes, they've been without Cade, and I'm not saying that they rested on their laurels. Like they played a lot of tight games and they played really good down the stretch. But at the end of the day, for Orlando, it was make or break. You know, Detroit hadn't had to put that mentality on just yet. Orlando's been in that for the last 2.5 weeks. So yes, they are playing a more cohesive brand of basketball at the moment, but I still would not put my money there. As much as I do like the guys that they have there, nobody, in my opinion, could match Cade. And I just need Durant to come to play closer to what it was like when Cade wasn't there. When Cade wasn't there, Durant was averaging. He was a mid 20-point scorer, 10 rebounds. You know, like he was a dominant big. Maybe not 25, but we definitely need 18 to 22. He needs to be dominant on that side.
Well, you know, another team that's in trouble, just as an update on the game, are the San Antonio Spurs. Not only did they lost twice tonight.
Yeah, so, and they said it looked like he had a concussion, and it takes some time to recover from. So it's gonna be
what
tough.
happened? Did anybody see it? Because I just
I saw it.
It looked bad.
He tripped over. Yeah,
his reaction looked bad. Yeah, his reaction looked bad.
Yeah, he got a long way to fall, and he tripped over Holiday's leg. And fell and hit his face.
Hit the ground. He hit his face on the ground.
So,
like
you could
like that or
like
outside. Yeah. But his reaction when he was trying to get up.
He didn't even want to get up. Like for a minute, he was laying down. He didn't want to get up because he knew he would stumble and it would look really bad.
And he actually hit
his head. You can see him shaking his head. Like, let me lay here for a minute.
It looked.
It was serious. It was.
It looked like he was out. Yeah, it looked like he was out. If for a second it did anyway. Yeah. So that was not a good.
But the thing is,
they had a chance to win that game down the stretch. But like Nick said, Portland played great down the stretch to pull it out. So that was really good.
Scoot Henderson, man.
But the thing is, shout out to
Sean Shelton.
Scoot looked like he be laying on that afro. He need to cut that hair.
My Scoot look like he
got that afro.
Look like he driving a forklift, man.
Hey man, pick that afro out if you're gonna have it. Pick it out in the back. Otherwise,
look like he working overnight shifts, man.
My thing with Wemby though, because I put this in the chat, concussion protocol will be 7 to 10 days. Meaning he could be back by game 5 or game 7 if it gets down to that point. Absolutely. And this is what we were talking about when it comes to playoffs. We ain't have to worry about Wemby, but we have to worry about is he built for the playoffs? So he over here bumping his head like he Tua,
and trying to get up and stumbling like Martin Lawrence.
He was moving like what Martin's mama, what Martin player's mama. He was doing that. He was like back and forth.
Oh man.
Hey, Nick, I don't know where you got your information from, but the NBA concussion protocol is
48 hours.
48 hours, my boy. I don't know. You said 7 to 10 days.
I saw that.
I'm saying it's long to recover. No, I'm saying 48 hours. That could be a diagnosis. It still depends on how long he recovers. It depends on the injury. Everybody's brain is different.
No, I understand that. But he gonna be playing. If not game 3, he'll be there game 5. Guaranteed.
It ain't no game 5. Yeah, he gonna be there game 4 regardless.
Fuck you mean?
Yeah. This your future though. You over here messing with his noggin like that.
Hey, this is basketball. This ain't football. This is basketball. I mean,
when you Wemby, you just need to be the presence out there. Like it ain't.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna take a lot of
if I'm Portland's head coach. Sheldon, if I'm Portland's head coach, all the big man move like this. We win it in 5.
Like you doing it.
All you gonna do is just hit
Like
his, all you gonna do is hit his chest. I'm not even gonna get close.
No, FIFA, I'm saying you gotta raise it up. You gotta
Hey, one thing I will say about this Rockets and Lakers series, differently from when we talked about it, Ken, LeBron and KD guarding each other is interesting. It makes me want to watch it more because they I want to see what they old asses do against each other. I think it's a matchup we ain't never got where both of them been really in the same position. So I am now more interested in this series.
Cleveland Golden State. Bless you. But Cleveland Golden State, that when they guarded each other, that shit, like, KD just pulling up from 30.
Yeah, it's different.
But that was because Brown was by himself, so he was looking around.
No. I'm talking about when they had K-Love,
Kyrie,
was
Kevin
there.
Love,
Kyrie, yeah, Iman, JR. I'm just saying.
KD was dotting his eye. He was dotting his eye, but
he was.
That was a crazy team he was facing. Yeah, that was a crazy 100%. Team.
I think that's the beautiful thing about KD Bron. They're pretty much their entire career is that they're both great, but they're great at different things, but they play the same position. So they often guard each other, but they can't stop each other.
And they can make each other look pedestrian.
Yes.
Like KD can do that to LeBron, and LeBron can do that to KD.
Can do that to him.
And that's a wild thing to see. Yeah.
Exactly, because there's who else is going to do that? How many players make KD look pedestrian offensively or defensively? And the same thing for Bron.
Yeah, they kind of step the game up for each other. Yeah,
they do. You can tell they like even with this ain't been 5 minutes into the first quarter, 6 minutes into the first quarter. You can tell how serious they
KD cooking. And
that's the only thing that make me like now. I swear, Ken, before we started this segment, I was just like you. And like I don't want to see this series, but now that I see them going at it like that, talking in between plays, knowing the greatness that both of them have, like it's now way more interesting.
Yeah, it's personal.
As they guarding each other. Yeah,
KD gonna jump on Sengun too if he ain't playing no ball tonight. So watch out for that too.
Bro, he was. I don't know what he was doing in game 1.
He was lost, bro.
KD can't stand it.
He hit that LA gas, nigga. He didn't know what to do.